The two woke up from a loud whistle as the train stopped. They have slept for 4 hours straight, cuddled together on the seat. Blaze and Lavender were already sitting in front of them. They probably fled Ginny's complaints and were in here to take cover. Harry stepped out onto the platform to gather their luggage, but Draco stayed on the train step, not wanting to get off. He was beckoning his fingers with his arms outstretched like a child begging to be picked up. Harry rolled his eyes and took Draco in his arms. The blonde wrapped his legs and arms around the DJ boy, kissing him lovingly. They ignored the couple of stares they got and just went on to find their friends that were somewhere on the platform. Harry cast a feather lightning spell on Draco's luggage so it wouldn't be too heavy. He set his fiancée on the ground and let him go on his own. The crazy still seemed tired. His random eye color faded slightly. Instead of carrying the luggage himself, Draco created a life-size stone human unisex figure to carry it for him. Lazy boy. Peasant. Shut it. Make me. Draco! Draco beckoned slightly, then walked up slowly to Harry's side again. What? We all have one job to do now. We all have to get to the place we're staying at, and you make it twice as difficult to do so. Well, I'm sorry, Your Majesty. Draco took a loud bow next to Harry in his direction. Harry flamed up red, his tattoos, hair, and eyes flashing with strong neon red, and the tattoo of Draco's name on his neck was tingling with small flame. Harry stood on the spot, turned to Draco and blocked his way. He stood strong and serious, showing how fucking annoyed and irritated he was by Draco's irresponsible and foolish behavior. Stop it! I'm fed up with this, and I'm not putting up with your whines again. Either you go ahead and stay behind without me, or you behave and let us deal and get to the final destination and whine all your fucking horrible attitude out there. Draco lowered his head slightly, feeling guilty and embarrassed. He didn't know Harry could be so strict. It didn't mean to bother him. He was just bored and wanted to entertain himself, however he could. Apparently, this wasn't the best option to do so. Draco felt very hurt. He didn't like it when people shouted at him. He also hadn't been in trouble with Harry before. Actually, he had never been in this situation. For some reason, he felt a tear and a slight sob escape him. Was he crying? He didn't recall that happening. No, he couldn't cry. He was acting like a sensitive girl. Had to pull himself together, but he couldn't. Another tear streamed down his cheek, and he simply walked around Harry and kept walking. Harry stood frozen for a moment, analyzing what he had said. Was he really that harsh on him just now? He knew Draco was a sensitive bloke, but like that? Also, pregnancy makes the pregnant have constant mood swings, extending sensitiveness, sadness, and anger to great levels. Harry turned on his heels and caught up with Draco, who was now already carrying his own luggage. The stone figure just began to fade. Harry cast another lightning spell, just in case. Draco's eyeliner wasn't leaking anymore, at least for now. He pulled his silk hoodie over his head, hiding his face, his fists clenching the handles of luggage so hard their knuckles turned white. He had calmed down and forced the tears off by now, but he had already shown his weakness in front of Harry. Harry walked up from behind Draco, wrapping his arms around him, stopping the blonde. Draco stood there, not doing anything, just feeling scared. I'm sorry, honey. Did I hurt you? I'm sorry I flipped off the hook. Are you crying? Harry muttered in his ear, pulling the hoodie back. He kissed Draco's neck and earlobe, gently relaxing the boy, color returning to his fists. Draco nodded slightly, feeling that it was okay to be honest around his fiancée. He turned around to face Harry, still looking down. I'm sorry, I cried. I didn't know how that happened. I didn't mean to. I won't do it anymore, I swear. He left the sentence unfinished and broke his new given promise. He buried his face in Harry's chest, sobbing slightly. Shh, love. It's okay to cry. I just fucking yelled at you. I would feel hurt in a situation like this. And you don't have to apologize. I'm sorry. I love you, baby. Look at me, please. Draco looked up and slowly feeling very, very guilty. He took a small shift back away from Harry, who pulled him back into his embrace. I know you're tired of this whole traveling. I know it is difficult. But could you please help me? It is hard for me. I'm looking after you so your journey would be easier, and you make it so difficult. Maybe we could use an hour apart, if that would help. Draco shook his head, swallowing the heart lump that formed in his throat. He wrapped his arms around Harry, smiling to his shirt. No, that would be torture. I'm sorry for the show I made you put up with, but I really just want to be next to you. I'm sorry. I love you, Harry. Please forgive me. Can we just keep going? Of course, sweetie. I forgive you. Let's go. We're far behind the others now, aren't we? The two boys used the last piece of magic they were allowed to use to operate the rest of the fellows that were already exiting the station and moving down the streets. For the rest of the journey, Draco caused no fuss whatsoever, and it was actually a really nice journey. The friends talked about their exciting expectations, and Harry eventually told everyone about Draco's pregnancy. Everybody took it okay except for Ginny. They were congratulated and spent the rest of the way thinking of possible names for the child.